They are so desperate for Caitlin Clark to not be the face of the league, even though it directly benefits them for her to be. The day Caitlin Clark isn't the face of the league is the day the NBA goes back to normalcy, aka irrelevancy.
The player that's most likely to launch a successful company is who?
Ooh. Honestly, I'm going to say Paige Beckers. She knows what to say. She's genuine. If she put her mind to wanting to start a business and a brand, she'd nail it.
Nneka Ogwumike. She's already been able to handle every business aspect of the league. So Nneka.
I think sometimes people forget I have feelings. I'm a real individual. I feel things and I have emotions and I get emotional and I get frustrated and I get sad and I get upset. I get happy. I get joyful. And I feel and experience all that stuff. But at the same time, I have really thick skin. And I think also I always try to remind myself is social media is not always reality. And that is really lost on people. And I think we get so down a rabbit hole all the time that you read all these things and you're like, oh, that has to be true. Or that has to be what people really think of me. Or that has to be what, the young girl thinks of me that's showing up. That's not true. The young girls and the young boys, they absolutely love the way you play. They love the way you carry yourself. And
in a recent interview, WNBA presenters sat there talking about the state of the league, about growth, about attention, about momentum heading into next season, and somehow didn't mention Caitlin Clark once. Not once. You could listen to that entire segment start to finish and walk away thinking the biggest story in women's basketball this year had absolutely nothing to do with the player everyone actually tunes in to watch.
The WNBA, they just keep driving into a wall at full speed with Caitlin Clark. They now have a commemorative poster of 30 years of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's not on it. And it's not just an ode to the veterans that started the league. Paige Beckers and Angel Reese are on it. And Caitlin Clark's not. When she broke into the league, you moved her road games to bigger arenas to accommodate the fans, and she's not on the 30-year poster. Recently there were TV games. Hers got double the rating of A'ja Wilson, the best player in the league, the 3-time champ and the 4-time MVP. Double the rating. This is a paranoid, weird, insular league.
That's not an accident. When professionals whose entire job is covering this league sit down for a long conversation about where things stand and somehow skip the one name responsible for the biggest audience numbers. In decades, that's not an oversight, that's a choice. People don't just forget the person who broke the most watched WNBA record in almost 30 years. They only forget her when remembering her means handing out credit they clearly don't want to give.
This phenomenon has just been crazy, right? I feel a little bit, I guess, empathetic for her because she didn't ask for any of this. She just wants the ball, right? She didn't ask for any of this stuff. I know that there's a lot of people that are frustrated that she doesn't speak more about some of the issues, that have nothing to do with basketball, by the way. And that's the unfortunate part for her. I had the opportunity to call one of her games a couple weeks ago. She's ridiculous. When you watch some of the shots she pulls and how she operates,
because
here's what's actually happening behind the scenes right now, and it's a story that's been quietly building for months. WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is reportedly on her way out after this season wraps up. And a huge chunk of that conversation traces straight back to how she's handled the entire Caitlin Clark situation from the very beginning. Sponsors want her promoted properly. Broadcast partners want her promoted properly. And Engelbert, whether out of fear of upsetting the league's veteran core or just a plain miscalculation of what fans actually wanted, spent 2 years underselling the single biggest commercial engine this league has ever had. Walk through its doors.
So there was actually a report that came out today that says that the 2026 season will be Cathy's last season. Alexa Philippou said conversations with more than 20 stakeholders in and around the WNBA offer a general belief that for as much business growth as Cathy Engelbert has overseen, she's not the right person to navigate the demands of the league, the demands that the league currently faces, and what its stakeholders now need. I do think Cathy thinks, well, she's done her job. She's got us financially set up in the right way. It's the other pieces that we're talking about. Jeff Hunt, who is a specialist in crisis and reputation management, who has previously worked with the MLB, ATP, WTA, the PGA Tour, he said the hole has just gotten so deep. She's in a place now where I don't really know what she does. Others said that she had a failure to develop sufficient relationship equity. Multiple find it curious she hasn't prioritized developing a closer relationship with Caitlin Clark.
So now you've got players and presenters who spent years pretending Clark wasn't the reason cameras suddenly started showing up to their games, and they're about to watch the exact commissioner who let that attitude fester get shown the door. And once Engelbert is officially gone, the excuses go with her. Whoever steps into that office next is walking into a league that desperately needs revenue and desperately needs eyeballs. And there is exactly one player who has already proven repeatedly on record that she can deliver, both at a level nobody else in league history has come close to.
Obviously, I'm so blessed to be at the helm of this league during this incredible hypergrowth period. So blessed that these players are putting the product on the court they are every night. They stand for the values that the W has long sought for. So I will just continue to, do my job, execute the strategy because it has been working, make sure we listen to the players, communicate with the players. And so absolutely just love this league and blessed to have had the career I had before and the career I have now.
That's really the part that seems to be eating at people the most right now, that it's not fully about basketball skill anymore. Even though the skill is obviously there too, it's about who gets to be the brand the entire league gets built around going forward. And the brand math here honestly isn't complicated once you strip away the emotion. Clark's games, poll numbers no other player in league history has ever touched, not during any previous era. Not during any previous golden generation people love to bring up that a new commissioner walking in with a mandate to fix the league's finances is not going to spend one more season pretending that. Reality doesn't exist just to keep a handful of unhappy veterans comfortable.
This is insanity. What Caitlin Clark has showed us, the demand is still there. The hype is still there. And then when she performs like she did, and people are seeing on Twitter, or people seeing on the news and on social media and on YouTube, and they're seeing headlines that say Iowa CC is back, they're like, damn, those were good times. I gotta check it out. Wait, you're telling me Iowa CC? Wait, she did 45 and 10? Oh, I remember her doing 45 and 10. I remember those types of games. I remember her pulling up from the parking lot. Oh, I gotta tune in.
Caitlin Clark herself has actually talked about this directly, and she didn't sugarcoat a single word of it. She's come out and spoken about her genuine frustrations about how a lot of people seem to choose seeing her in a negative light, painting her as some manufactured hype machine propped up by media. Favoritism while quietly ignoring how good she actually is on the floor when the ball is live. She said it plainly more than once in interviews this year. People love to talk about the attention she brings, the jersey sales, the ticket demand in every city she visits, but they conveniently skip right past the actual basketball. The passing vision that's rewriting assist charts, the shooting range that bends entire defensive schemes, the record-breaking stat lines sitting permanently in the books with her name attached.
I think there's just like a false characterization of who I am sometimes. And I get it, as a reporter or as a blogger, you can write an opinion piece and that's your job and whatever. But at the same time, you don't know me. We've never had a conversation. I get people have a job to do, but at the same time, don't make accusations about my character and who I am when you don't know me. I understand this is your job and this is your profession and this is what you get to do. And basketball is my profession and what I get to do. And I get to compete. This was always my dream. And nobody should ever try to take that away from me. The love and the joy that I have for the game, and they haven't and they won't, because it's my goal to win championships. And I know that I can help this team do that. And that's always what I remind myself in the moment.
And you can hear the exhaustion in her voice when she talks about it. It's not really anger. It's more disbelief that this is still even a conversation 3 years into her career after everything that's already happened, on and off the court, because the numbers aren't hiding anywhere for anyone willing to actually look. She's the one putting up stat lines nobody else in league history has ever produced in a single game. She's the one selling out road arenas that used to struggle to fill 1/4 of their seats on a random Tuesday night before she ever set foot in the building, ignoring that at this point takes real, deliberate effort. Well, guess what? that's not going to last much longer once Clark is officially installed as the face of the league. And let's be honest, she already functionally is one whether anyone admits it publicly or not. They won't be able to ignore her anymore because the league's own marketing department, its sponsors, and its broadcast partners are going to build everything around her whether certain players like it or not. You can hate the coverage all you want behind closed doors. You cannot out-argue a signed television contract worth hundreds of millions of dollars.